Okay, this one is kind of interesting. Go listen to the Global Nerds podcast where we interview Catherine Sutherland, and she talks about something that is really interesting that I kind of want to talk about. Let's play that clip.
We know that this is like the conclusion of the Power Rangers as we know it. Do you think that this can catapult into a new series where everything getting a reunion, you know, Fuller House and all these type of shows coming back? Do you think you guys could possibly ever come back if it's received very well from the general public and as well as the Power Ranger fans?
Well, I actually wonder if that's what this is, if this is a test to see how it does. I think that just the teaser alone created a huge amount of viral attention, and Hasbro was very excited about that. So I don't know, we'll see.
Could this actually be that Hasbro are actually producing more shows like this in the future? Hearing Catherine say that this is a test run, or could possibly be a test run, to kind of open up that there could be more shows like this, more reunions, not just of Mighty Morphin, but of other things. Could there be other ones like that? That to me sounds like it would actually be one of the best things that they could do in the eyes of the fans. Now, I'm going to state this. I don't mean like they're going to make loads of stuff like MMPR, because even though it could be one of the most popular ones, I feel like it would get a little bit boring. Considering how we've seen the 30th so far and how special it is, this could be just a one-off, but this could lead into other shows, like for other Power Rangers series that we've always wanted along more, and to find out what's been happening with the Rangers for all this time. We know that every single year, someone on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, turns around and says, happy X amount of years, such and such season. And we all kind of go, all right, cool. It's the 16th anniversary of said show, or it's the 20th anniversary of said show. I kind of like this idea that they could get, you know, the In Space cast back, the Turbo cast, Mystic Force, you name it. Grab all those people together, bring them back in and say, hey, we're going to make an entire whole anniversary episode that's around about 97 minutes long. Do you want to be in it? And they'll go, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. That sounds awesome. Yeah, what's the script? With something like this, I generally really think that it's there for the fans. Like, it's there to say, hey, you know, we're going to make this for you. And it also kind of like ticks everyone else's boxes, because again, not everybody is into Mighty Morphin. Not everybody is into In Space or Turbo or Mystic Force or Operation Overdrive, whichever one's that way. Not many people are into it, but everybody has a favorite season. I absolutely adore Zeo and would love a Zeo reunion, because we want to know what happens to the Zeo powers. I would wholeheartedly like to kind of see that. But again, I know that not everybody is into that one, and that's a-okay. My understanding is that when you ever ask any of the Rangers, would you want to come back? Majority of them say, yeah, I would love to come back. Now, if this is true and you could get everyone of In Space back, or everybody in Turbo back, or whatever, I feel that would be kind of cool. Now, I know that some actors may turn this down and go, I'm not interested. Basically, I know Austin does pretty much most of the time. But still, if it's all good and people like it, then obviously I know that they'll come back. If Once and Always is a taster, a teaser, you know, the information to kind of get Hasbro to look and go, right, we need to see this online. We need to see how much hype is going, how much is happening on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. And we all know that Hasbro is watching pretty much everything. If they're watching this, hello Hasbro. But we all know that Hasbro are literally looking at Twitter, they're looking at YouTube, and they're looking at Facebook for more information. And literally, since Once and Always came out, it is blown up everywhere, and everybody is talking about it. And I think one thing is, if Hasbro are watching all these things, they know that there is a market for this. So yeah, at the end of Once and Always, we could have a literally logo for In Space pop up and say to be continued or something, which obviously means that they could approach the In Space staff and say, hey, do you want to come back? We kind of really want to work on this with you. And thus, therefore, we could get a reunion for whenever. There's a wholehearted amount of stuff that could happen. One other thing that I can see them doing right now is that this could be a side project that they do. As soon as Jonathan Entwistle takes his reins and takes over with the reboot, if that does or does not happen now, again, Hasbro could say, well, if we mainly focus on these anniversary episodes, these anniversary films, then we know that this is coming out much later on, which again would be a really good idea to kind of keep this going, keep this separate from the kind of reboot wise, and say, hey, we still want to pay respect to the fans, we still want to get them in on this is what we kind of want to do. And again, for me, I would be all for that if they do this, and it means that we know that there's a future for Power Rangers in general. But I also really like the idea that they're doing what Japan does when they have a Sentai X amount of years later and we get some limited released merch and stuff like that. But if you imagine that if Hasbro are going to do the same thing as what, say, Toei does, then I feel like this is a good step. This is something that I have literally wanted for a long time, and I think that this is a good idea because it does show that they are still saying, hey, we kind of want to produce something for you guys, the people that have been here for the longest, that have supported this brand, that's buying all the stuff right now. And I will say this, Hasbro, and if you use this idea, I want to arrange a called mark in the next season or whatever, but if you make merch around it. Now, if you don't know about the merch, it's basically an item in the show, or the flashback will be a disc, it'll be something that attaches onto a morpher or a weapon that is limited to that, and there's a limited run. You could do that. Release a power coin that hasn't been done, that unites everything, that everybody will go and buy. These are the things that you kind of really want to focus on. Forget t-shirts and stuff like that. Well, actually, no, a t-shirt would be kind of cool. But either so, here's a rare power coin that was forged with all the powers that we're giving Min. Stick that in a Lightning Collection figure or something that is to do with that merch and sell it, and it would go like hotcakes because I've seen people scramble for something. You look at gear thing from Zenkaija in the movie. I wanted that and I was going to buy that, but there's things like, Ninja Storm or the Hurricaneja, when they did that, they have the limited edition thing that's going on, the memorial thing. Again, perfect for what it is. Perfect. That's what we want. So Hasbro, you could do the same thing as Bandai. I don't think anyone would care, so I think you could do it, and I think people would really kind of enjoy that. Even if you don't do the merch thing, the fans want to see their favorite Rangers. You don't have to do exactly like the Sentai, where it has to be like every couple of years you bring them back. But if you're going to do, like, say, a one-off special, do something like that every couple of years. You've got so much of the franchise that the fans want to love and support. That's the main thing. So why not give it a go? I think that would be really cool. I think it would be something kind of awesome that would have a lot of people talking about this for a long time. And I feel like the fans that kind of stopped watching after a set series would come back and definitely check this out. I definitely would. If I wasn't a fan of Mighty Morphin, which I'm not really, but if I was like, if I had stopped watching after In Space, and then suddenly In Space was getting one, I'd come back and watch it, because I'd be like, oh, what happens to Andros and Ashley? Or maybe I want to know if Bulk and Skull are actually finally out of detention, that don't have to go back to the high school, because I think they have to, because they'd be that sort of people that would go back anyway. But think of it like that. I think that would be a thing. I reckon it would build up a lot of hype. I think people would enjoy it so much. And yeah, but I just kind of want to make that video. What do you think about this? Let me know down below in the series. What anniversary season would you like to see when the time was just about right? Let me know down below in those comments. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。以下のリンクから商品を入手することができます。